Pro tip video here for Plants vs. Zombies 2. I did a whole bunch of analysis on exactly how much damage per second all of the plants do in the game, and I found out that the short answer is that the Snapdragon is one of the best plants in the game for the money, especially early on in the stages before you start like digging up old plants and replacing them with more expensive plants. The Snapdragon should be your absolute go-to plant in Plants vs. Zombies 2 when you eventually unlock it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details of exactly how I came to this conclusion. So to figure out exactly how much damage every plant does in Plants vs. Zombies 2, I loaded up a clean level with a couple tombstones and timed exactly how long it takes for every plant to destroy one tombstone. I found out that the Peashooter takes exactly 50 seconds to kill a tombstone by itself. It takes a repeater 25 seconds to kill a tombstone, and it takes a Pea Pod fully maxed out with 5 pods 10 seconds. It scales exactly as you would imagine that it would. Using the Torchwood, on the other hand, gave me some interesting results. Using a Torchwood with the default Peashooter cut the time to kill a tombstone from 50 seconds down to 25 seconds, therefore doubling the amount of damage that every Pea does. But having the Blue Torchwood increased it from a 200% damage boost to a 300% damage boost, not a 400% damage boost like you might think. So it went from 50 to 25 to 17 seconds, not 12.5 seconds like you might think using the Blue Torchwood might get you. So while a Pea Pod completely maxed out with a Blue Torchwood technically does the most damage of any plant combo in the game, it's a very expensive setup to get to, and it only does damage to one zombie in one lane at a time. The Snapdragon, on the other hand, takes 45 seconds to kill a tombstone by itself, which is pretty slow, but it only costs 150 sun, and it does damage to every zombie 3 rows around it and 2 columns to the right of it. So if you stack those Snapdragons up at the very low cost, you can do a ton of damage really quickly. The Melon-Pult also does a ton of damage, taking only 25 seconds to kill a tombstone by itself, and with a huge amount of splash damage can do a ton of damage to large groups of zombies, but it's fairly cost prohibitive, at least early on in the game. And it's kind of glitchy. Through the testing that I did, you can see here that the area that the Melon-Pult does damage is inconsistent at best, so I don't know how effective it'll really be when a huge wave of zombies is approaching. And finally, here's the breakdown of all the data that I gathered doing all these tests. And there's also a link in the description to the spreadsheet if you want to take a closer look at that. And I know it's not perfect, especially when it comes to the AoE damage multiplier, because that doesn't take into account how many zombies you're attacking at once. That only accounts for the range that it's attacking, so that could easily be way off. But as you can see, the Snapdragon is really a bargain for what you're paying for and how much damage you can really do at a time. Thanks for watching. Game on.